Hello, my name is Sean Avila, and this is my video essay of the effects of mass shootings in emergency departments. The emergency department in a hospital is staffed with some of the most qualified personnel in medicine. The physicians are highly trained in emergency medicine. They can handle almost whatever is thrown at them. The nurses are specialized to handle traumas and acute illnesses. There are staff to support the providers in every aspect of care, from the receptionist who answers the calls for the family members to the radiologist who's always on call to read incomplete X-ray scans. But what happens when there are so many patients, the staff can hardly keep up, and they just keep coming? These events are becoming increasingly common, and they do not seem to be slowing down.
This was the final night of a festival in Las Vegas when gunfire silenced the music.
So how do emergency rooms keep up with the high stress of a mass casualty incident like the Las Vegas shootings? They have very complex protocols for just these situations. Mass General Hospital has specific guidelines and principles that outline the many different types of mass casualty incidents that may occur. These protocols go from simply calling in designated staff with specific training to handle mass casualty incidents, to allocating resources to priority patients and deferring non-life-threatening injuries to smaller medical facilities.
Victims were rushed to 5 Southern Nevada hospitals. University Medical Center treated more than 100 patients.
These patients, with so many coming in so fast, we did what's called damage control, which is really just stopping the process of dying.
Trauma surgeon Jay Coates says they train for situations like this.
When it comes to a mass shooting, security must get involved. Generally, security will enact a hospital-wide lockdown as to avoid allowing the shooter into the hospital to cause more casualties. The state police will also get involved. They will secure the perimeter of the hospital and surrounding streets, and the National Guard will come to help out with all of these processes. This is a team effort. It requires participation from multiple resources like hospital staff, local and state police department, FEMA, Red Cross, and even military personnel.
What was that on Boylston? A33, something just exploded at the finish line. UCC, did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, I see it. I'm confirming. 2 devices just went off at Boylston and Exeter.
The Boston Marathon bombings in 2013 is still fresh in our memories as one of the most terrifying events that we have ever lived through. The fear-striking event caused over 250 injuries and 3 deaths. Boston hospitals, albeit staffed with some of the best medical staff in the world and consistently drilling their emergency response systems, were quickly thrown into a chaotic situation that they did not expect.
In total, as you may know, it was almost 300 patients were treated at the hospitals from the marathon. There were 3 fatalities at the scene, but everybody who got to the hospital survived. That's unprecedented in the world of disaster medicine. That survival is unbelievable.
These events are where the medical professionals of the emergency and surgical departments have a chance to shine. They work together like a well-oiled machine, providing excellent patient care like it's business as usual. Staff and family are buzzing through the wards. Calls are coming in one after the other. Media are outside the doors asking questions to everybody who comes through the doors. But the medical care teams, as well as the supporting staff, all know their roles, and they have drilled many times in preparation for a day like this. Another memorable event where emergency department staff were put to the test was in Aurora, Colorado on July 20th, 2012, a shooting in a movie theater that left 12 people dead and 70 injured. 6 hospitals collaborated to provide the care for these patients.
Of Aurora, Colorado, which is about 12 miles to the east of Denver, is a scene of a shooting this morning. Police there were called shortly after midnight to a multi-screen movie theater in a mall where The Dark Knight Rises was being shown, a midnight showing. As you might imagine, a packed theater or several packed theaters, and someone began to open fire, or more than one person began to open fire. We're getting reports that 10 people have been killed, 38 others have been injured. One person is under arrest.
The coordination required for this type of event is precise. It needs to be carried out almost flawlessly to ensure the maximum survival rate for the many patients that come into the emergency department after an event of this magnitude. As the events become more and more frequent, the need for training and drills increase because another one could happen anywhere and could have even more victims than the last. Another tragic example of this kind of violence happened in Orlando, Florida at the Pulse nightclub on June 12, 2016, where a gunman opened fire on the patrons after shooting his way inside and killed 49 people as well as injured 58 more.
The death toll would have been much higher if not for this. The busiest, fully equipped trauma center in all of Florida is 2 blocks from here. Just 3 months ago, Orlando Regional Medical Center practiced an active shooter mass casualty drill.
This was the largest mass shooting of its time in the U.S., so the hospitals were faced with unprecedented amounts of patients. They were running low on critical medical supplies, so they had to borrow from nearby hospitals. When treating patients, they couldn't always follow the procedures put in place. Major medical interventions had to be implemented when they normally would have waited. From the years 2000 to 2013, 486 deaths and 557 injuries were caused by mass shootings, as well as 3,069 deaths and 3,895 injuries were caused by major bombings. This is 4,452 injuries that required treatment starting in the emergency department from malicious man-made disasters. This number is only increasing with each year, topping the last with deadly man-made mass casualty events, like the San Bernardino shootings in 2015, the Pulse nightclub shootings in 2016, and most recently the Las Vegas shootings in 2017. Hospitals are showing their ability to adapt to any situation thrown at them, and because mass shootings are becoming a frequent occurrence, medical staff in hospitals are becoming more familiar with the processes used by these model hospitals. This will only improve medical care for patients who are victims of man-made disasters in the future.